Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to another video. This is the video log for October 2023, where I go through what I've been doing, what I'm planning to do, mostly as an update video for my Patreon supporters. If you're not on my Patreon, please do consider doing so. It helps me keep this channel going and do the things that I've been doing. Patreon.com/psenough. Donate whatever you're most comfortable with. So things that I've been doing so far, I've been doing some Enough Records things as usual. Enough Records is my net label, for those who don't know. I've been working on the text section of the net label. I've been working on a specific text by myself to release on the label, doing some revisions. I contacted some people for some feedback, going over that feedback and figuring out, what's worth implementing and what's not, having existential doubts, wondering if I should add more to the thing or not. So I've been going back and forth that and still not ready for release. Feels like I should still do a little bit more work on that. And that has been delaying a few of the other releases that I have to. I have to read and reply to one release that should be ready for release, and I've been delaying that a little bit. That should be the next release on Enough Records. And then there's Radio Show, of course, which I record monthly and put it out and distribute. There was also a new release by The Hooligan that just came out. I had to prepare and upload that as well. And yeah, that's pretty much all the news that I have about Enough Records, but it's business as usual, getting new release proposals, listening to them, giving some feedback, and preparing whatever is on the release schedule for being released next. Also planning to do a remixes, not session, remixes, call to remixes of one of the tracks from Captive Portal. That's in the plans for Enough Records in the future, which is an idea which I already had been brewing before. Like pick a track, offer the stems for remixing, and have like a month or 2 months for people to submit their entries, put the best ones up on Enough Records, and people are still able to release their own remixes on their own labels if they want to, as long as it's, following the Creative Commons licensing, attribution of the original source material, and non-commercial share-alike licenses. So I've been having that idea to do that like once a year or something like that for Enough Records, to challenge the Enough Records artist roster to be more active, not just putting out one EP every couple of years, but participate with each other, collaborate more in between, and also to reach out to new artists. If you put the call for remixes open, available online, you might get random people that would not normally release at Enough Records to submit some stuff and put out, and it might be a good release, and also promote the back catalog a bit, because the idea is to do a remix of a track already released at Enough Records previously, so it will give a little bit more focus on that as well. So that's the idea that I've been brewing, and I've been thinking about it before. I haven't spotted like the right track to do it with. I had some ideas with some artists before, but they weren't really interested in that. So now I got an agreement with Captive Portal, and let's see if that comes out before the end of the year. Hopefully, we're working on it. So let's see. Other than that, I've been having some meetings for the demo scene events that I'm helping organize in the future. Inertia had some updates which are coming up soon. The Load ZX Museum collaboration to organize a mini demo parties also had some meetings. Also Lovebite, I'm also helping organize Lovebite this coming year. We also had the launch meeting for that. So suddenly I'm involved in organizing free demo parties, and it's becoming a bit too much. And I'm also supposed to help some stuff with revision next year, and be the main organizer of Inertia next year. So 5 demo party organizations in the pipeline. It's starting to be a bit too much. Maybe a bit more than I could chew, but take one day at a time, figure out what's next now and later. I'm not concerned of being able to do the demo parties. I'm a bit concerned that I will not have time to do creative stuff at the same time, and it will just be organizing stuff, which I really don't particularly enjoy. So yeah, but we'll see how things evolve. So yeah, I've been taking some time off to do those kind of things as well. Then I've been procrastinating a little bit by using Demozoo, uploading some missing releases, also reworking my script to help upload stuff that is still missing from Demozoo. So I've been doing a lot of that. I submitted like, I don't know, 50, 60 new productions to Demozoo on the last couple of days. Also, LiveCode Demozoo had some issues with a dependency that got updated, was not working properly, so I had to debug it because Totetmat is on holidays right now. And while I was trying to figure that out, I took the opportunity to fix a few things as well, fix some inconsistencies between things, add some missing information. So I spent a couple of evenings working on livecodemozoo.org as well. And you can go to livecode.demozoo.org to see the changes, and the GitHub also has the full repository of the thing. I'm playing some games as well, mostly Marvel Snap, N++, and the tower defense thing that I thought, Gemcraft. I haven't really picked up any new games, but I have been playing these 3 regularly, and both 3 of them are the kind of games that you can pretty much play forever. So yeah. I've been reading some books as well again, which is good. My eyes issue is a bit better. I had been on the last few weeks, I had feeling like way too tired with my eyes, and I've been avoiding reading because of that. But most recently I realized that it's the ceiling lights here in the living room, and if I use the normal light, the soft light that I use for recording the videos, I don't get as tired on the eyes. Probably consumes more electricity, but yeah, I need to figure out a solution. Maybe get a lamp that has less consuming soft light of some sort that I can use during the evenings. But I'm also trying to keep a more regular schedule, being active during the days and avoid working at nights. So let's see how that works out. I got some stuff to help me sleep better, deal with the insomnia things. I'm still testing them out, see if it helps or not, but let's see how that works out. Anyways, all this to say that I've been reading a little bit more again. I just did a book review on Siddhartha recently, which was an interesting book. I'm not going to talk more about it because it's already a video about it. Other things, we reached 3,000 subscribers at the channel, which was great. I was planning to do a 3K celebration video for over a week, working on a background specifically for it, but the background was never quite good as it could be. Well, I was trying to do some fireworks effects, but fireworks are supposed to be launched at night. Then everything was looking quite dark, and I tried to add a few more elements, but everything was still looking quite, dark, which, I don't know, I wasn't really clicking. It didn't feel cheerful enough for a thing, but I spent so many days on it that I was trying to make it work, but it was still not working. I gave up in the end and just recorded the video without any background, and we'll try to reuse the effect for something later on. Still have a few ideas on how to improve things, like the fireworks being more realistic, stuff like that. Anyways, I did that video, and during the video I recalled myself that I should promote a bit more the Amazon wishlist. And while I was reviewing the wishlist, I noticed that the graphics card that I was trying to buy, there was a special promotion to get a second-hand one, so I decided to just buy it. So I bought an RTX 3060 Ti for 400 euros, around that. Amazon's return policy includes secondhand stuff, so as soon as it comes, I'm going to try to install it on my machine. If everything is good, I'll keep it. If it's not running as it's supposed to, I'll send it back, and that's that. I've been wanting to upgrade my graphics card for quite a long time, so I finally got one, and yeah. Also, I've been reading on this technology called Gaussian splats. Emma posted a link at Luna base of at Luna's moon base a few days ago about this new technology for rendering point clouds pretty much, but they have a special way to train them to have proper transparency and stuff that makes them ultra realistic, and you can do some really interesting stuff with it. I saw a couple of videos explaining the technology, and it seemed really interesting, so I was looking into it. I managed to get Google Colab to train some stuff because my GPU is not good enough for that. So I trained some models, and now I want to try to, well, first play them at all, which even the viewer is not like, I need better GPU to be able to run the viewer of those. I guess eventually, if I want to make some demo scene stuff out of the technology, I will have to do my own viewer of some sort, and I might be able to optimize it into running on older GPUs, because the viewer that I have is like generic for research stuff, so I think it's just capped by default. You don't really need those limitations, those GPU limitations, just to put a lot of triangles on the screen. I think it might be a memory limitation, but I think it's more limited by the training section of the thing. And just for visualizing, you're not supposedly using the training for anything. So yeah, but I don't know, I need to look more into it. Regardless of that, when the new graphics card comes, I should be able to watch them and figure out if I can do a player out of that, if the technology is interesting enough for me to invest more of my time into it or not. I want to get a new phone as well, with a dual camera to be able to capture 3D things and be able to capture point clouds with stuff. My current iPhone, all the point cloud capturing applications that exist for the iPhone need a higher version of iOS that is not supported by my current phone, because it's like iPhone 6 or something like that. It's really old. It does calls, that's what I need it for, and to receive the SMS tokens whenever there's a two-factor authentication. That's pretty much the only use I have for phone. I don't really use it for any applications or games or anything like that. So yeah, I want to try get a new one, or maybe try to use one of the cameras and try to capture some models and stuff like that to see if I can play around with that technology a little bit. But that's for like 2024. So but yeah, that's on my sites for upcoming things. Pretty much it. Some other things that I have to do, or that I already promised to do. I need to read and reply to the book for Enough Fracker, so that will be one of the top of my to-do list stuff. Need to record a new radio show. Have a meeting for Inertia, for the website, actually for the association. Want to do a TIC 80 512 invitation for Inertia. I'm struggling with a concrete idea. I have a few effects that I can reuse for that, but I'm struggling with the concrete idea of what I want to do, and music for that, because I can use Crackle Tracker, but what kind of music, I don't know. And if I struggle with it, I can always ask Pestis or Genio to help me with that part. But to have text, which is needed for an invitation, and to have music at the same time, I'm starting to wonder if maybe it will be tight for 412 bytes, that I need to keep the music simple. I don't know, I've been thinking about these things, and I've been procrastinating them pretty much. And instead of doing these things, I've been adding information to Demozoo, which it's completely useless for my to-do list, but I've been spending like hours on Demozoo just uploading missing information there. And then I need to figure out with Leecube the updated version of Woohoo for Inertia, which was supposed to already be ready by now, and I was supposed to help him with that. He's been busy with some problems, personal issues, and I'm left wondering if I should be advancing this version myself, or not and just use the old Woohoo version for this year's Inertia. So yeah, I'm trying to reserve some time on my to-do list for that, but I need to make a decision, either do it or not do it, and commit to one of them. Yeah, so these are the things that are upcoming, and trying to figure out if the book that I've been trying to write about importance of privacy, if it's good enough for publishing or not. I think it's not. I think I already in my head already made the decision that I need to do it one more revision and do one more story that's a little bit more accessible, because it only has 2 stories right now, and both of them are like very tech heavy. One of them is more about artificial intelligence, like science fiction, or what's it called? A specific term for this, when it's fiction, not necessarily science fiction, but fiction that is, I want to say, imagine it. I don't remember the Portuguese term right now, so I can't remember the English version of that either. I don't remember. And speculative fiction, yeah, like thinking about a specific scenario, idea, and then doing a story out of that. So both of them are very speculative fiction, leaning on the science fiction side, well, highly into the science fiction side. One of them is mostly about artificial intelligence in the future, but it has some connections with privacy, and that on that future scenario, you have lost mostly the right to privacy. You have more of a surveillance state implemented. So that's very tech-influenced version of the privacy concerns. And then the other one is also a dystopian future where hackers it's the story of a specific hacker in the future, and telling the story of that hacker's perspective, but he lives in a very extremely anonymized way because he needs to do that to survive. And since it's from the viewpoint of the hacker, it goes into a lot of technical terms, which makes sense because it's being told from the viewpoint of a hacker, but it might also lose, regular people who don't know that jargon. You can sort of infer the main storyline, and that was the line that I tried to keep, remain in the viewpoint of the hacker instead of having like an external, what's it called? Not editor, narrator. Instead of having an external narrator, it's always narrated from the point of view of the hacker, so he has the speech assuming that you understand the things that he's speaking about. And that, for me, sort of makes a more interesting story. I like when science fiction stories do that, so I try to replicate that a little bit, but I kind of understand the comment from people who might not get it. So since both of the stories have this tech sci-fi vibe into it, I want to try to get another story that is more down to earth / the current situation that we have. So it's more modern day, contemporary, and not like future dystopia sort of thing, so that people can relate a bit more, connect a bit more directly, understand the importance of privacy that way. So that's my idea. I haven't come up with like a specific story to match that idea just yet. I had an idea for a story, but it was diverging into other things, more political oriented things, which I don't think really fit that well into the privacy, because the right to privacy should be a universal thing, regardless if you're, socialist, or if you're libertarian, or whatever left and right terms you want to use. Should always have the right to privacy. Right to privacy should be a universal right. It is a universal right. It's considered a human right to have the right to privacy. The problem is, during the last, I want to say last years, but it's not last year, last decades, we have been losing privacy more and more. because of the state that's been wanting to surveillance people more, to give the police more power, access to monitor things, to be able to control, terrorism is the usual weapon saying. Then pedophilia is the other thing. Like, we can't control pedophilia without a massive state surveillance, apparently. And there's a backlash of activists trying to go against this, that we should still have the right to online privacy, and projects have been under development to push that. But my point is, regardless if you're left-wing or right-wing, you should always have the right to privacy. And I think both sides of the political spectrum should expect privacy, because privacy can be abused if you're in a dictatorship state from either the left or the right. So it doesn't matter. It can always be abused if it's in the wrong hands. So it's never good to have mass surveillance state, or having letting companies shamelessly collect the information and sell your data as if it's not yours. The financial system, like the banking system, collects information and sells it to data brokers to do whatever we don't know with it. So third-party people or third-party companies are using our data that we use, having some sense of privacy, and they're reusing it for monetary gains and for commercial gains, for serving you ads and for all sorts of things. And more in the future, we will have a more, everything is collected about you. Like, the next generation will not know what it is to not have information of them freely available online. Nowadays, a great percentage of the population is already with all their information online in some place or another. Like, if you have an email service, they know every information about you. If you have a banking service, they know all the information about you. And then you go to these social media websites and give even more information to even more public entities. So this is a very strong concern, and something that really it's not affecting me, but it worries me, in the sense of being a person in a society. I do not want the society to go into this way. On a personal level, I have given up a lot of my privacy knowingly, like for the convenience of things. And, I could do more things to have a more private life. Like, I could not use Gmail. I could use ProtonMail, for example, for that. And I will use ProtonMail for things that need more specific privacy things. But for the generic communication, I still use Gmail, because it's just more convenient to be able to access Google products like Google Drive, Google Spreadsheets, things like that, share them with other people. It's just more convenient to have a Gmail for that. And other small things like that, not just the email, but normal browsing, the public information that I give about myself. I should be a lot more careful with that information. But since I am a little bit public facing, like I have a YouTube channel, I have to give something, so I try to, you have to do a trade-off of what you want to give and is no longer private, and what you want to keep and should be private. And I have, in my head, I have some drawn lines on that. And I share a lot more than a lot of people do, more than a lot of people should. But knowingly what I'm sharing and why I care about that and why I do not care about that. Like, if I wanted some specific role on some specific company or political position or something like that, I should probably be more careful with the things I say and the things that I share online. But once you accept and know that I will never be interested in doing that, then I have the freedom, to just be more free with what I say. I can say things without being worried of ever being, you know, attacked or it being used against me in these ways. But it's a slippery slope because you don't know what kind of laws will be in place, you know, in a few years. You don't know what kind of things, what kind of situations you will be in. So it's an important subject, something that concerns me. I'm very open with it, but at the same time, I try to be conscious about it and alert other people about it, and you know, be careful of what you share online, and be aware that it's being harvested and sold as to data brokers to make money off of your information. So yeah, it's the book that I've been working on. Still hasn't been finished. It's not a book. It's 2 short stories pretty much. But yeah, it's something that I want to put out. It's a release that it's been hogging my to-do list, and I've been trying to push that out. And yeah, that's it for now. I also have a couple of more ideas for a few more videos, and other things, but I'll save that for another time. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you. Sorry for the long rants. See you next video. Bye bye, everybody. Have a great day.